Welcome everybody to episode 12 of the Aim Gamescast. I'm your host Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert. I'm joined by Brett Wolf on my left, the PlayStation expert.
We got a bottle of champagne here.
Oh, okay.
We got some pink Moscato because
the expensive stuff.
We're classy, so I think it was
right.
like $12 a bottle or something, but
I think it was more like 7. But
maybe it was like $7. Yeah, I think it was on sale. But you want to show that off?
Good old champagne. I wonder what that's for. Stick around and watch the whole episode to find out.
Well, should I start opening it now?
oh, yeah, I'm thirsty. I got an empty cup here. There you go. Whoa.
I'm Scott. It's not even pointing at you.
Yikes!
Are you going to introduce me to it or what?
Oh yeah, and on
Can I
my right,
introduce
I've
myself?
got Eric King, the Nintendo / a little bit of everything
I'm a-
expert.
Hey, what's up, guys? I've been waiting for this episode all
Wait
week.
for a big topic.
This firmly.
This is an episode I've been waiting for. I knew you weren't going to be able to pop it.
No,
I
it
told
says
him
keep
before the
in-
episode started. I'm
No,
like,
it says
"Well,
remove.
Before we start,
No,
you're
because
gonna
it doesn't have the cage
We have a
thing.
special
It's-
how to open a
It
champagne
says
bottle
remove
episode for you
foil,
guys today.
firmly grasp metal top, which is right here.
I told you this was going to be an
Keep
issue.
hand on top and twist top until stopper pops.
No, I know how to pop champagne bottle.
Yeah, well, trust me, I watched 3 videos on YouTube on how to do this. And of course, this one
I'm
doesn't
an
have a metal
expert. I
cage,
know how to
okay?
do it.
I was prepared for this.
Okay.
I don't know if I... Okay, I think I have to hold it
We
like
thought
this.
fucking launch it across my house.
I got
Oh
it.
my goodness. Yeah,
He's got it.
I got it.
Folks. Popping bottles.
Fuck. Again, I'm so scared.
Like, is it supposed to be sideways too?
No, you got to turn it.
And Rocky's gonna be all over
Twist.
this shit if it launches.
Oh, twist. I'm twisting the wrong way.
Ah,
so,
Okay.
well,
so what
that,
we talking
that
about
would
today,
help.
Scott? What we got on the docket for today?
Well, we've got a loaded episode today. We've got some Resident Evil 2 reviews. We've got, I don't know, did you finish Kingdom Hearts 3 yet?
I am not.
No, so no review on that yet. We've got Twitch Plays Pokemon, 5-year anniversary of that, so we'll talk about what that is and the significance of that.
How are you guys not... Okay, we'll get into it.
Dreams Early Access in Sony, so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
looks
in
like
spring.
It, looks like it could be good news for me.
Dreams early access in spring, Scott.
In spring.
Dude, my
Okay.
hand is hurting from trying to turn this.
We're going to talk about how bad Anthem did in the masses that reviewed it.
Let me see it.
Which
No,
was
okay,
bad
so
for
you
my
want-
fantasy
this is what you
video
wanna do,
games
Eric.
draft.
You want to
Okay,
hold
let's
on
see
to it,
Let's see this.
and you want to turn it, okay?
Mhm.
It's really... But
Twist
hold
the
it...
top off.
Yeah, but hold it at a 45-degree angle like this,
Okay.
and keep it away from me and Scott and Windows. So come over here and do it, because... come over here,
Do it over here.
point it that way!
What are you doing? Give me the damn thing. So you
Yeah,
twist it
should,
which
like,
way?
Start pointing.
No, you twist it open to that way. Yeah.
Yeah, so just be careful. Be careful.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna do it at the camera.
Don't. You don't have my brand new...
Celebration.
Dude, don't be holding it up like that,
Turn it
dude.
up. Yeah, it's a bitch.
Yeah, I was
I
trying
told
to
you
do...
fucking do this before.
And I was
the
trying to
episode
do my fucking baby hands.
started. Rocky wants some
Oh,
champagne.
did I hear something?
No. Like, that was his toe. His paw. I don't think this is gonna get open
This
this
is horrible.
episode.
Well, I guess we could save it for next episode.
Oh, I
then.
think I got it.
Oh, dude, hold it down.
Okay.
Oh, dude, you're pointing at me.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Okay, hold
Is
it.
it gonna launch?
Yeah, no, you hold it down. Slowly turn it.
Yeah, I'm slowly turning it.
Okay, and you'll hear like a little pressure release.
Oh, man, now I'm scared.
Keep going. Slowly. Keep going.
Oh, I hear the...
Yeah.
Oh, Rocky hears it.
Slowly, slowly.
It's like, is that for me?
It's gonna be like, pop!
It won't pop if the pressure's getting released. It should be pretty
I
much
think
good.
we're good.
I think we're good.
Okay. That
Okay,
was
but still
kind
don't
of
point at me, don't trust you.
anticlimactic.
All right,
It's
yeah.
open. Okay.
All
there
right.
you go. And I guess we'll find out at the end of the episode what that
We will
is
pour this.
for.
Later in the episode.
Okay, so we're going to start off with Resident Evil 2 Remake. So you completed that game, you've completed both Claire's and Leon's stories.
Yeah.
So you got the true ending.
So I got a true
So,
ending.
let's talk about what you thought of the game.
Yeah, overall, Capcom did such a great job of remaking Resident Evil 2. in terms of videos I've seen of the original one that came out on the PlayStation 1 in '98. It definitely is, it really showed how cool survival horror games are. If you guys don't know what survival horror games are, games are, of course, they're scary, but also the survival aspect of limited ammo, limited health items, limited inventory space, and you're trying to make it through the game with all those different constraints working against you throughout the whole game. So I beat Leon, I streamed all of Leon's story, and I beat Claire's on my own, but overall the atmosphere was great. Couple of scary moments with Mr. X, who's like the tyrant, and he's chasing you around halfway through the game when you're playing as Leon. For Claire, it's a little bit different. I won't spoil that, but overall it's a great game. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, right now the year's still early, but I don't know if even Sekiro can really pass this game for me as my favorite right now for Game of the Year. It's
pretty accurate.
I would say it's probably around a 9 out of 10 in terms of like a game that atmospherically, and the gameplay is super fun, super sound, good bosses, a good amount of puzzles that aren't puzzles that you need to look up, ones that you can kind of figure out on your own by reading documents and exploring the areas and stuff. So definitely a very, very good game, and hopefully we'll see Capcom do Resident Evil 3. That's the only game right now that has not been moved over the current gen.
Yeah, for the Resident Evils.
For all the Resident Evils, correct.
Okay.
So yes, a great job by Capcom. A solid 9 out of 10. Great game, fun. Not a lot of bad points on it. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 only because it didn't wow me. It was a very solid game, but I was like, whoa, I gotta keep playing it. I want to, once I was kind of done with Leon's story, I was kind of like, oh, well, I guess I'll check out Claire's.
So not enough Mr. X's to
give
it a 10?
Yeah, there should have been 2 Mr. X's chasing you around.
Yeah, which one would you say you like better of the campaigns?
I liked Leon. Maybe because he was the first guy I ever played through in that game. I don't know. I think it was just more fun to play because he was a former, his first day as a police officer. I didn't really feel like a connection to Claire, and not just because she was female, but I understand she was looking for her brother Chris Redfield, who's one of the main characters in the series. Okay. I kind of felt more like Leon, like he's like, hey, this is my first day on the job, and I really don't know what I'm doing, but I have experience with a gun, and we're gonna kill these zombies. But Leon was probably my favorite playthrough, just because he. I was going through the story with him for the first time. Once you're with Claire, there's a couple of differences throughout the game, but overall it's kind of the same path you're going, the same areas, just different puzzles and different rooms you can access. Because Claire's playthrough, you can access certain rooms that Leon can't, and then Leon's playthrough, the certain rooms he can access that Claire can't. Okay. So it kind of chooses up there, but not enough that I would say that I wouldn't say Claire is a must. If you just want to do Leon's story, that's great. But it definitely adds another 6-7 hours to the game. That's already a short game, anyways. Okay. But I definitely think the value of it for $60 is definitely definitely a must buy. And that's it's gonna be my game of the year until Sekiro comes out. And I check out Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, but it's definitely a masterpiece. That's great game, a very good game. So
yeah, I might have to check that out. In other news last week we talked about a Sony executive that
Jim
left.
Ryan. John Cadera stepped back, and then Jim Ryan's a new
this
CEO
week, Nintendo had a special message from Reggie Fils-Aime to the gamer community, and Reggie is officially stepping away from his position to spend more time with his family. He left a very heartwarming message to the fans, which I thought was really cool. You can check out our Twitter. I think you posted the video.
Yeah, I retweeted it.
Yeah. And that was really cool. Do you remember what's the name of the guy who's taking over for him? Eric,
Doug Bowser, and
what a fitting name, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think I was tearing up a little bit almost.
It was a great video. It was a very cool video because he's kind of like the king of memes, and he kind of embraces it too. So it's really neat.
Yeah, he's got to be one of the most popular, if not the most popular president of any of the companies like ever since they started video games. So yeah, it's sad to see him go, but yeah, the new guy's Doug Bowser, and this guy's
Bowser's a big.
Yeah, that's a very
like
fitting
you were
name.
saying, yeah.
But he's been with the company I think for like 3 years. He came from like EA before he came over here, which kind of scares me having a guy from EA. But if I think if Reggie thinks he's a good guy for the job, then I trust in Reggie. So I think this guy.
And
will do a
Reggie,
good job.
trust.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this guy will be a good guy to take over. He's got a lot of experience because he was with EA for I don't remember how long they said, but I think it was like over a decade. So he has a lot of experience. I think he's like 53 years old too. So another old guy they're bringing on, but the more experience, the better, I guess. So, but he had a lot to do with the Switch and everything as far as marketing that, and it's the fastest selling Nintendo console that we've seen to date. So I think he can probably keep it going how it's been going so far, and I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, I definitely have good memories of watching him on the E3s in the past. I always think he's interesting to listen to speak.
Oh god,
He's had some
what was his like favorite line that he?
cringeworthy and funny moments.
I'm kicking ass, taking names,
I don't remember
and
exactly what it was. But
we're gonna make great games or something like.
no, I'm about games. Something like that. That was in one of the lines. I don't know if he started with that or if that was the ending line. But
He was kind of like
making games or something.
Yeah, you can tell that he was a huge huge gamer, and he just loved making being a part of like the video game industry. So it'll be sad to see him go.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, he was there for like 15 years almost. So I think he started in 2003, and then I think he took over as president in 2006. But
Okay.
yeah, he was
It
there all
makes
the way through the
sense,
Wii,
yeah,
and
When I was in high school is when he would have taken.
the Wii was one of the best-selling consoles of all time. So
Well, I think he's only like 57.
yeah,
So he probably has so much money saved up that.
He's set for
Especially when you're a president of a huge company like that, he probably didn't spend a lot of time with his family and his friends.
he probably
So,
wants to actually enjoy playing some games instead of working all the time.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we wish him the best in his retirement.
Yeah, so that was cool. Number 3 on the list, Twitch plays Pokemon 5-year anniversary. So I hadn't actually heard of this before, and Brett was like, "Well, what are you talking about? You haven't heard of this." So can you just explain to me?
Yeah, really quick. I wanted to
this
kind of
was?
I meant to talk about this on our last week's episode because that was the actual 5-year anniversary. Twitch Plays Pokemon was a phenomenon that came out in 2014 where if you were, and it was the first time I ever heard of Twitch as like a website, a channel to stream games. And what the programmers did was they built Pokemon Red in a way that if you went on Twitch and you went to the page, you remember that?
Yeah.
And people could type in commands like up, down, right, left, A button, B button, just like the original Game Boy controls were. Start button, select button. And it would actually play the game based on the commands
Based on the
inputted.
chat.
Right.
That's
And I remember seeing it on Twitter. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's, it seems pretty interesting. So I was watching. I was a senior in college, and it got me hooked in the beginning. When not a lot of people knew about it, it was super interesting. And I think when I was really paying attention was when we were going from I think it was from Pewter City to Cerulean City, and we were getting close to Mount Moon. And that was when I was watching all the time. I was at my apartment, not my apartment, but my house with my roommates, and we were watching it. And they weren't big Pokemon fans, but they were still what's gonna happen? Are we gonna get to the next part? And then, to my disliking, it kind of became so huge that people started giving these, different lore and theories and stuff like that. And it made it very. It's kind of mainstream, and it wasn't underground anymore. It wasn't just a few thousand people. These were tens of thousands of people trying to do this. So they added democracy, where you would and stuff they sort of come up with all these different terms like democracy and anarchy, based on democracy was when you would type in so many commands, and then the system would say, okay, this got this many buttons, so then press that button.
Yeah, whichever one got most votes.
And a certain amount of time would be that next button.
Okay.
And because a lot of people were trolling and stuff like that. trying to like screw up the actual Red from like progressing. But they actually beat the game. They actually beat Red, and they beat they beat the Elite Four. They beat Blue. They become the champion, which is crazy. So I just thought it'd be cool just to touch upon that because that was my first.
Is this still going on? Like, do they have like
Yeah,
gold now? Are they doing?
Well, again, this was 5 years ago. So obviously, right after they did Red, they went right to the Johto and did gold or silver, and it just went downhill from there. People stopped caring because you can't replace the magic that was like a one time at the beginning, the first thing that everybody was super like interested about, and I'm sure they still do it. But
that's pretty cool. I probably would have paid attention.
Yeah, it was like I was in class, like going on like Twitch and like watching in class with my headphones, just seeing like, and nothing would happen for hours because it was still like people were screwing up. But then once it happened, like and then I missed a couple of parts, like when they caught Zapdos and they beat the Elite Four. I missed those parts, so it kind of like ruined it for me. But the beginning though, like with all of them trying to figure it out, it was go look at it like on Wikipedia or on Google. And you'll see a bunch of different lore and stuff like that, stuff that actually happened, and people who became fanboys of it or fangirls started like giving names and different theories and stuff. But yeah, I thought it was super interesting just to talk about it.
Yeah,
look back 5 years ago
when you first got into
Twitch. Because I completely
too,
forgot about that until you mentioned that.
Yeah, so
they actually controlled it. But I remember being on like Facebook one day, and I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I seen like somebody share like a post for it, and I didn't know what Twitch was at the time.
Me neither. That was my first time ever going on Twitch.
And I just went in and started watching it for a little bit. I didn't really get like too far into it or anything, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was just
super different that these, pretty much they were geniuses of being able to have the Twitch channel and the Twitch chat control it, and it was a huge hit. People were obsessed with it, so that was cool to look back 5 years, and can't believe it's been 5 years.
Like you said, it kind of ruined it though once those streams got too populated because people were just fucking posting like couldn't even keep up probably. So.
Yeah, and then people, I don't know, like, I don't want to say like I'm always like one I guess like I get jealous when like people are like, oh my, I was a part of that. I'm like, well, you weren't a part of it from the beginning like we were, but
like Fortnite.
Yeah, like Fortnite, we will. Jared got me on the PvE Save the World edition and the Battle Royale, which is another pet peeve of mine. Like Fortnite isn't like what's popular right now. It's actually called Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite is the original PvE Save the World thing.
Different.
It's a different mode. People on Reddit were like, I didn't know there was a PvE mode. I'm like, that came out first, and then they made Battle Royale because of how popular PUBG was.
Because the PvE one was the paid to get the game.
Right.
At first, like
you get the Founders Edition.
You actually paid for.
And it's still in early access. You need to pay for it. But I digress about that. But I thought it was cool. I just want to bring that up.
I guess a little bit. Kind of on the same topic of the Twitch, but not the Pokemon thing. For my first experience where I started noticing Twitch was there was like a site called Salty Bet. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's basically this guy made these characters, like a ton of characters, and they're continuously battling on a stream, like on this channel, like where it'll pit like Captain America versus Goku or something, and then people will bet like there's these like salty coins or whatever that, like if you sign up on the site, then you'll get so many coins or whatever. But you can watch it on Twitch too.
Oh, okay.
And so you could do a bet on which one you thought was going to win more, and then it would give you the odds. And if your side won, then you would get more coins. And so it was just kind of a cool thing. It wasn't like a real money thing or anything, but it was just kind of fun to watch those like battles for a while.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a same kind of thing where it kind of died down after a while. But
that was your first
I think
time
it still goes on, but yeah, there's a bunch of like anime characters on that and stuff. That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
In other news, Dreams. I know you guys have talked good things about Dreams. Well, early access in spring.
Yes.
So that's going to be coming in the next couple months then.
Yeah, so Media Molecule released a blog post talking about Dreams. Going to be in early access for the creative part of Dreams in the springtime. It's going to be $30. And if you buy the game, and when it comes out for the early access, you don't have to pay again for the game. Like that's gonna be it.
See, I was kind of wondering about that because I signed up, like I tried to sign up for the early access, and like they made it sound almost like you paid for the early access and then didn't get the game. But
yeah, no.
I was
Well,
curious
it's gonna be
about
it's actually gonna be on the PSN store.
Okay.
And here's the kicker too: is that it's gonna be limited, a limited number of copies that are able to be bought.
Because I signed up like through Sony's Twitter channel or whatever, because they had like some kind of thing where you can get like an email. They haven't sent me an email yet to respond, but yeah, you have to actually sign up for this, and it's not like everybody can just get the early access.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a closed beta.
Sort of. I mean, it's the full.
Well,
game.
it's gonna be
It's a full game. It's just not finished. Like,
and
Yeah.
it won't.
basically like some of these games that release nowadays will get into that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, now also like the campaign, because Dreams will have a campaign and a single player story mode. That will not be included in the early access. So it's going to be pretty much what we've seen in videos of the creative beta back in January, where it's going to be you can create your own levels, you can play other people's levels. If you were in the creative beta access in January and December, your levels and games you created will come over to this release. So people that created PT and created Super Mario and all this will be able to continue on with their games that they made into this. So again, $30 for it, coming out in spring, limited number of copies that can be bought, and then but if you buy it, you don't have to pay another $1 for it. It's gonna be yours. You're gonna get any other future updates when it actually becomes a full official game release. It'll be ready, and you'll want to pay for anything. So definitely kind of hurts, because I drafted that game in our fantasy draft. So I'm worried that it might not make it this year as a full game release.
Counterpick.
Because we did not, since I did not include, we did not not include any early access games. It had to be full official releases.
Well, I mean, they don't review early access, so I don't even think you can even put early access on there. So.
But yeah, so I think that's cool. That's actually finally going to come out for people, and hope I can be one of the people in Air 2 who just want to experience it and see how cool it is. Because it's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be a very, very unusual but very unique and interesting thing that could really revolutionize games, and having an actual game engine that you can, mess with. And I can see actually developers making games based on the Dreams engine.
So
which I think, especially like indie games too.
Cool.
I think definitely Sony. I think they knew, even though this game's been in development for such a long time, since Media Molecule finished Tearaway, that there he goes with it. But I think they knew that they were sitting on something that's going to be just a very, very cool thing that people are going to buy and want to play. So, but yeah, so it's spring, $30, Dreams. Could be digital only too, so it won't be. You can't buy the early access at retail like you could like PUBG when that came out in 2017.
Yeah, I think this game's gonna end up being. People think like Minecraft was revolutionary. I think this is gonna be like same kind of deal as Minecraft. I think this is gonna be a very big game, and it's gonna be something that a lot of people get into once they find out about it.
The only thing is, I don't know if this game's coming to PC. I doubt it because it's first party. Which Minecraft was on PC, and then obviously Xbox. So it won't hit Minecraft numbers, but I agree with you though that
it's only going to be PlayStation
a lot
exclusive.
But like you said, Minecraft was such a huge hit.
It's gonna be all over like social media. People are gonna be like showing off worlds and like, oh, this is fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's a review. That's why I drafted it. So it review really well. So.
It's just not gonna fully release this year. So.
I really hope it does, because I don't know why it would come out next year when. I think The Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima are going to come out. Yeah. So why would Sony do that to Dreams and have that come out with those three huge... Well, I guess Ghost of Tsushima is kind of like flying underneath the radar.
What else did Tsushima's come out next year?
Death Stranding. And Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us coming out this year.
I don't think so. But yeah, I think Dreams has to come out this year. It has to. I think the fall would be good. They are going to work on it more. Everything I heard
will be good for fall.
Everything I heard is that the beta seemed pretty... good. Like everything seemed to be working normal and stuff. So I don't know what they're polishing.
I don't know how it can't be. Like if these people are making those kind of worlds that you've seen in the beta, I don't know how it could be like that far off from release.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I guess they just want to make sure and not like screw over their fans and release like a not fully finished product. So.
Which brings us to
Oh, yes, unfinished products being released early.
Let me get the champagne
So,
ready.
The game Anthem. Wait a minute, what? Well, I thought that was number 6. We're on number 5.
Well, it's combined to 5.
What?
Host?
It's combined to 5.
Okay, so Anthem, it did not review well on OpenCritic. This is a game that I drafted. Okay. And it got, what is it, sitting at a 60 right now?
Sitting at 60.
It's sitting at a 60. So that means I got negative 10 points, and I'm now negative points in the draft. And Eric has 10 points. Jared is still in the lead with Metro Exodus.
Wait,
I think
really?
it's like
Negative
an
points? I
83.
thought.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
You only
it's
got,
negative.
3 points for Far Cry New Dawn?
You get -1 for every point on
See,
the
no, I
70.
didn't know you only got that much for Far Cry.
No, yes.
You did only get 73, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm pretty
Cheers,
upset.
Brett.
I feel a little bit ripped
Cheers.
off, kind of like the Saints got ripped off for getting into the Super Bowl because all these reviewers were coming out with their reviews before the game even released. The release date was Friday, and I see like 15 reviews for the game. It's already at a 60
Well, let's talk
before
about
the game
it.
even came out officially. And then you guys are talking about these reputable reviewers that are reviewing the game before it officially comes out day 1. I think you have to wait until the date of release before.
Well, this is...
And they fixed some of the issues that these reviewers were giving a low score for, so I don't understand.
Well, do you know they get like early copies, right? Like full copies of the game. All the
Okay.
reviewers do. So
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I mean they have like 40 hours put in the.
It's an online game.
Yeah,
but
but I mean they
The
still.
actual release date. So that's why it makes this so complicated for these reviewers to review, is that these games, like, they can be updated on the day that they release from what they're given
Well, yeah,
out the early
they did have a
access.
day 1 patch, but the reports coming out are because some of these reviewers waited until Friday when the day 1 patch came
Yes.
out. Because actually, I think they were released.
The day 1
I
patch
think they
came out
released it a
day...
few days before, didn't they?
It did. It
Yeah.
wasn't...
Yeah, there was a patch that was called the Day 1 patch, but actually it got released like Wednesday or something. And a lot of these reviewers waited until Wednesday to put out their review because they wanted to test out that Day 1 patch that everyone was saying would fix the game. But unfortunately, it didn't fix the game.
Can I say something? Well, I'll go after you're done.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I know people like Dominic, for example, he's been playing the game and he says it's crashed on like 3 times in a row. Like,
Really? No, I've been playing
he's
the
one-
game. I haven't experienced one crash.
Well, he must be one of the lucky few because he said he was he went and had to talk to these 5 different guys. It took him like 15 minutes, mind you, and they crashed. And they did it again, crashed, did it again, crashed.
Well,
and he just
okay.
gave up after that. He's like, I'm not gonna like deal with this.
Yeah, no, I never
It's so
dealt
frustrating.
with the game crashing on me.
Mhm.
I played it by myself. I don't know if you guys played in a party at all
Mhm.
with other people. But my biggest issue with the game was with the free play, actually. I did not like the free play very much. So you have the main
yeah.
story missions, and it's really engaging. You get a ton of action and stuff.
Right.
And then you get to this part where it's like, oh, go collect these like Ember things and go do free play or go do world events and stuff.
Mhm.
And then I go into a world and it's like, or the free play, and there's only like 3 other people in this world. And I go off exploring and I find this world event and I can't beat it because it's designed for like 3 or so people to
Right.
be there. And it's like, okay, I'm the only person doing this. Like,
Right.
and so that kind of bothered me. I think like if they removed the free play stuff, I think it would be a much better game.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
been,
think that like BioWare is a they've always done single player games in the past. So this is like their first big multiplayer game that they.
Well, now Mass Effect did have multiplayer, but
It had some, but the main
Right,
point
it's
of the
like-
game
right.
that people are playing for
I just wanted to
is,
clarify that.
is for the single
but
player.
yeah, I
games.
think that's partly
But,
EA wanting them to do a game like this because it's more lucrative to EA.
so
But that's like an issue people have been having though, is with the free play, the world being empty. Because the people want to compare it to like Destiny, which that world was a whole lot different. That was a lot more full of a world.
well, I
Like,
feel
you're
like
not
the
just
world
flying
isn't
around.
empty. Like I feel like it's very full.
Mhm.
That it just breaks up like in the
Right.
middle. Like I feel like the matchmaking system when you launch out on an expedition and it pairs you up with people and all 4 of you are doing the same linear mission.
I don't know if you've gotten to the point where you have to. Have you gotten to the point?
That's really fun.
Right. Have you gotten to the point where you've had to do like certain tasks, like revive dead other players?
Not so much, but that's what I'm talking about. I don't.
Because
like
that's what I was
those
watching one of these guys'
kinds of
reviews. He was like complaining big time about how that would kind of just stop the whole story.
Yeah,
and
that's
you have to actually do these
complaint that
you have to do these certain tasks, like revive a down player. I think it's revive 3 down players, and like he couldn't find 3 down players because they're real players. You gotta go find, and it just he said completely stopped the story. You couldn't even progress once you got to that point. And it's just little things like that add up, and just the game not being polished when it comes out. Like, because they're reviewing these games on when they get released. They're not reviewing them, a couple weeks after or a month after they put these patches out. Because I think this game could be like, an 8+ if they would have.
Absolutely.
An 80 plus if they would have.
The gameplay that I've played, like the flying mechanics are so amazing. Like it feels so good. It's really, really amazing. Like I was playing and I did like a couple expeditions, and then I went on to Apex Legends, and I was still trying to fly, and I was like, wait, why am I not moving as fast or flying like I was in this other game? Like, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, like the movement is so much better.
The flying definitely feels
in
cool.
Anthem.
And the game could get reviewed a lot better, but they were doing it on the day one, and it's a shame that EA puts out games like this all the time, because this is like a common thing for them. It's become a common thing. Like these games they release, they're not finished.
And
they're just
it's definitely
a complete mess,
disappointing.
and they shouldn't mislead their consumers like that. They should tell you like early access, like they shouldn't be releasing it. They should have pushed it back or told you it was early access. This isn't like a $60 game right now.
Yeah, so
it could be like in the future, but it's not right now. Like it's a shame for them. Doing that.
I mean, I'm still gonna finish out my 10-hour trial on the EA Access, but if nobody's gonna be playing the game really, then I'm probably not gonna get it.
Yeah, I've seen lots of people playing it, so I mean they've done a good job of marketing it, but I don't think it's a full game right now.
Well, Brett, what are your thoughts? You pre-ordered the game, right?
Yeah.
So
well, I'm glad you guys asked. So I have a lot of different opinions, and so I did buy the game. I pre-ordered it, got the Legion of Dawn edition, comes with the steelbooks. I love steelbooks, and some stupid, cosmetic shit. Number one, back to the point of reviews coming before it came out. In my opinion, the game came out in Origin Premiere as a full game. People could play it on the 15th through the whole
PC.
game, but still, hold on. But still, you can play through the whole game on PC. So to me, that game came out on February 15th. I think that day one patch is bullshit. That game came out, in my opinion, on February 15th, which it did. That's not a day one patch. That was like a day 6 patch, because I believe it came out either on Wednesday or Thursday of this past week.
But that was considered early access.
No, they did not market it as early
only
access.
if you had Origin access. Like it's not.
But
it's marketed as a full release. Though,
you can play through the full game.
Well, only on PC.
Correct. But if you had a PC, you can play through the whole game. You can play the whole game. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you had a subscription. So to me, that's a full game that's able to be reviewed. Okay, even though they didn't come out to. It came out on Xbox the same day for the 10-hour trial. They left the PS4 owners in the dust, which I thought was a stupid move, but maybe they had an agreement before, the Xbox One did not ever catch up to the PS4. So I know a lot of PS4 consumers were pissed, but that's the life of dealing with marketing and timed exclusivity. But yeah, in my opinion, that game was not a February 22nd release, only for consoles and only for the PlayStation for sure. And it came out on February 15th, so I don't mind the reviews going up a couple days after that because they played through the game on PC.
Well, so. I feel like they're a little bit rushed because this game too is based on end game content, because that's where a lot of people want for a multiplayer game, like a shared world type of game, like this a loot type based game.
See, this is how they market it. Play the full game. Play the full game before launch. Full game.
Yes, but it's still before launch.
It's
But they didn't
early
say-
access, but they don't call it like an early access game.
It's not early access
Oh.
title. It's early access for people that own that subscription.
Mhm.
So if you own a subscription, you get the full game a week before everybody else. Which I don't. So I don't understand if reviewers are reviewing the game on PC, which a lot of reviewers do. If they have a chance to get it on PC, they're gonna review it on PC. Unless they're like a company where they're gonna do it on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox One, which like IGN does that, I believe too. So, but yeah, that's my opinion on that. I think that game came out a week early. I think they really
Yeah, I
should.
kind of disagree with
They-
that, but
But I mean, I don't know how you disagree, but because I mean, again,
Well, I
you can
feel like
play
I'd
through the
rather
whole
have
game.
people
The game's still not
that
fixed
are
either,
reviewing
so
the games actually.
that was like what everyone was trying to say.
Well, I wanna hear-
Once this patch comes out, it's gonna fix everything. It didn't fix everything. This game still broke.
Well, before me and Scott get into it, because I think disagreements are good for us that we can like talk it out and get feedback from our audience. But I do want to continue with some of my points before me and Scott battle it out. And Eric, obviously, you can jump in because I think you sided with me too. We poured the bottle of champagne just because I think we're all, I know me and Eric, Scott, I don't know if you'll agree with this. I think we're all sick of games being rushed out before they're already finished and learning from other, games like Destiny.
That is the thing. We've seen from 3 big publishers. I guess Activision Blizzard's was just because they announced a mobile game and nobody wanted to play. But like I'm talking like 3 companies that have had some pretty negative press lately for actions or things that gamers haven't appreciated. I know Fallout 76 from Bethesda, that got really bad reviews too because of the same types of issues where you had technical issues. A decent game, decent mechanics, gameplay mechanics, but just too many crashes and bugs.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that is frustrating.
I mean, even with all the.
I don't think that's anything to celebrate though.
No, you're celebrating.
I'm celebrating
you're
not getting bad reviews that they
them.
deserve.
Them.
Why
Yes.
should we celebrating?
Because they deserve this kind of review.
I think these companies need a really
I'd
kick in
rather
the
it
ass.
be a good game.
No, they need it. Really, we should applaud games that.
We should applaud those reviewers for
Yes,
actually
so
reviewing the
we're-
game how it should be reviewed because
You're
this
drinking
game-
because you're sad that.
No, we're drinking because we're happy that since everything we've heard from
EA's getting
EA,
stuck to them for
Yeah.
fucking putting games
so we're
out 'cause
celebrating that.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Apex Legends is a success, but then everything that we've read or I've read that EA has nothing to do with Apex coming out free to
Well,
play.
I heard that they didn't even want to market it. Respawn didn't want to market it because they didn't want people having a view on this game before it came out because it's EA. Because
Yeah.
everyone views EA as being crap, and they didn't want that with their
Yeah.
game. They just want people to come and try it without seeing what it is 2 weeks in advance.
Yeah. So I will pour one out for the homies at BioWare. Hopefully they can fix this game to where it's going to be an acceptable product and more people play it because I don't want to see this as the end. But depending on what we see for sales numbers, I would hate to see BioWare because I love Dragon Age as
I
a
hope
franchise.
that they go back and do more.
I'm
BioWare's been one of my favorite
Yeah.
companies
They did,
because of their RPGs.
Yeah,
and stuff.
me and you played the Star Wars the Old Republic MMO RPG. I thought that was okay.
It was okay.
was decent.
But when you see BioWare
They're
come
definitely
up
more
on your
of a
screen,
storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and let's get into that
Whatever.
too. So for my impressions on the game, I'm level 10. I'm not sure how many hours I'm in, but I'm level 10 within the game. I own it, so I can, don't have any time restriction on it. I have not experienced any crashes, so I disagree. I can't relate to what Dominic's experiencing on Xbox.
Mhm.
So I agree with Scott that I have not had any problems with the game crashing. I had problems, the same loading screen bullshit that was going on with the demo that we were experiencing that you saw me dealing with. Everything seems like to be a loading screen. You switch a javelin, loading screen. You have to get, because in the game,
there are long loading screens.
they pull you in a mission. If you have a couple people or even one person continue on through the mission, and you're not there to keep up with them. Even if you're exploring, you're reading something, you're checking whatever, you get pulled within I think 25 or 30 seconds. If you don't make it back to where they are in the mission, loading screen. There's a loading screen for every little thing you do. And I hate that.
Hurts
And-
stories.
and
Yeah, I played about 3 hours of it as well, and at first I'm like, this game's pretty sweet actually, and it's just once I got more into it, I'm like, oh, the pacing's not real good. Like going from that, I don't know what you call like that main hub area.
It starts with a P. I forget the name. I know what you're talking
The
about.
main pub area.
Yeah. I know what
that really like destroys the pacing. Like I don't even want to be in there. I just want to be,
Yeah,
you know,
and that's a
flying
typical
around.
type of BioWare thing where you go on your missions, you come back to the main area, like in Mass Effect games. You come back to the ship, you talk to all your characters,
Well, I hate like you
and then
got,
you go to your next thing. So
like,
that's
all the
been a
movement's so
typical thing
slow
in
around
BioWare
there,
games.
and then you got to go into that area to change your armor or your javelin or whatever. You got to go in there to change your guns. Like all of these are loading screens. Like come on,
Yeah.
this pacing's terrible.
I feel like the story wise for the I know we're kind of jumping around here because you guys are interjecting, which is fine because it provides discussion for the game. Story wise, I've been trying to pay attention to what the characters are saying. It's kind of just like about like here's this thing, the Anthem of creation. I created everything, and you have these bad guys called the Scott. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Dominion.
Yes.
I believe, and the main bad guy is called the Monitor, which I think
Yeah.
is a weird name because I don't understand the significance of that. But again, I'm only level 10. He's some bad guy that has these powers, and he's in charge of the Dominion. And they're trying to go after all these relics and shit and stuff that is kind of just thrown out there just to prolong the story. I don't know.
I think that they want you to go out to explore these ruins and to see the world.
But you can
instead
explore.
of-
I mean, everything's match made, unless you do like
Well,
the free roam.
That's the.
But again, if you can't even explore through the missions, if somebody's proceeding ahead of you, and then you get rubber banded right to them,
Yeah.
and again, a loading screen,
Yeah,
and you
that's
can't read anything.
I also hated like the way that the arrow kept trying to like point you in a certain direction. Like it would keep skipping, and it would keep skipping all over the place. Like if I tried to explore over here, the fucking arrow's telling me to go over here, and I go over there. Fucking arrow tells me to go over there. It's like
Well, because it's elevation,
I think
like
it's
it's
trying to, like,
vertically based, and you have a 2D thing which is telling you left, right, up, or
I think it's trying to like
forward,
keep you in a
backwards,
vertical, like a
Yeah.
certain line that they want you to go down, and I'm like,
because you're.
I'm just trying to like explore here a little bit. Stop
I-
trying to tell me other
We're
directions.
talking about like the mission markers or like where to
Yeah.
go. I didn't really mind that.
I think
in my
like those
opinion,
orbs of light that you're collecting is
Oh.
that what you're talking? Because it'll have.
but- Are you talking about like the actual like radar?
No, I'm talking about like the radar thing where it
Oh,
tells you
where-
where to go. Like just tell me where to go.
But
and
like
let
the
me
yellow
get- let
thing,
me
the
get
green
there.
thing,
Yeah,
the
let
green
me,
circle.
yeah,
Yeah, I never
let me
had
just
an
get
issue
there.
with
I don't
that.
want to.
Like I thought that was helpful.
Yeah, I thought that was helpful too.
I think it's annoying. I want to just be able
'Cause
to.
it
kinda-
only-
especially with a world like that,
Well,
like
like-
you can fly around.
No,
anywhere.
because it only works whenever you need to collect something like those stupid
Yeah.
echoes or whatever.
Well, don't you get some kind of like arrow thing while you're doing your missions?
I think we're getting confused. I think
Yeah.
because you have the blue marker that tells you the direction where to go for your next part of the mission.
Yeah, and it
'Cause
keeps
it's-
popping up on your screen.
Yeah, because there's several missions tied into one mission.
Okay.
There's several parts tied into one mission. I think that's what you're talking about.
Mm.
We're talking about the actual radar when you're collecting those like,
Yeah.
echoes or whatever. I think you're talking about the actual mission marker where it tells you like, hey, you need to go here next.
Yeah.
And then,
Okay.
and what you're saying is you don't want to necessarily go that way. You want to go your own way.
Yeah, you got a whole open world here. Let me just put it on my fucking map and tell me where I gotta go. I
Well,
don't need a
there is
fucking
no
arrow.
map. There's just
Yeah, I don't need a fucking arrow telling me where to go. Like, come on.
That was another thing. Like when I was in free play, the map was kind of confusing to me. Like I couldn't see where the world events were at and stuff, so I was just like going in a random direction.
So I don't
Trying to
screw
go
around with
towards-
free play much, but
yeah, I
next
did.
person.
I did. I mean, I feel like I think the story is kind of like I was playing today, and you're in the main hub world.
Mhm.
The little whatever that Fort Tarkus, I
Yeah,
believe it's
Fort
called
Tarsus,
Fort
yeah.
Fort Tarsus.
Okay. That was it.
And I was playing, and I had to go talk to 10 different people who all had like a dialogue prompt above them, and they show you a map you need to talk to them. They have different dialogue and give you
Yeah.
different quests and stuff. Dude, I did a whole hour of that of talking to these 10 people, and BioWare is known for their your choices and the dialogue and how
Yeah.
they affect the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's BS in this game. From
Yeah,
what
it's
I've
just
seen,
binary choices. Yeah.
you are
They
exactly
don't
correct.
really
Nothing
have
matters.
Any meaningful.
and that's
Like-
exactly what I was talking about. Like when you talk to those 10 guys, Dominic talked to 5 of them like 3 times in a row when it kept crashing on him.
Really?
Like that's.
Well, like
and you said it took like an hour. It's
yeah.
like, come
Well,
on.
like Matthias, he's like a main character in the game. Remember Matthias?
I
He was in the
like
demo.
Matthias, Yeah.
Well,
I
I
thought
like.
he was
Well, it was
interesting.
funny because like going back to the player choice. So this morning I said the wrong choice, and based on what your choice is, I guess it does affect like your standing within the 3 factions of the game. I pissed him off. I said something that got on his nerve. So I did the mission. I come back. He's under a dialogue bubble on top of him, and he actually. I go up to him and I talk to him, and he's like, "Oh, sorry to get mad at you," and like we pretend it doesn't happen. So like, your choice does not matter when it comes to, you know, he should have been pissed off at me because I really pissed him off. But he's like, "No, just forget about it. My bad. It was all my fault. Because, you know, I shouldn't have been so aggressive towards you." So I'm like, that's so fucking like stupid. Like, you know, stay mad at me. Like, let
like
my...
walking up, like worried, oh, he's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
he's like apologizing to me. I should have been apologizing to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have ate my guts. But so like something like that was just kind of like, you know, annoying, I guess, because I wanted him to stay mad at me and, you know, him like not try to help me unless I did something for him to kind of like pay back. But you know, those conversations there's just so many words, so little meaning to them in terms of like any substance to what they're trying to tell me. Can I relate to them? I can't, because you have all the lore based on whatever you add to your codex. So if you go in the main hub world before Tarsus, you can go around and collect items that add to your codex, and you read them. It reminds me of Grimoire for what even though Destiny, you had to go into the actual website and research whatever you picked up. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, you're just picking up so much shit, and I want to be spoon fed to me the story, because this is a brand new franchise, a brand new characters, brand new everything. I want to be cutscenes. I want backstories. They only have one part of the 2 parts. The beginning with the Heart of Rage, and then when that one big soldier guy, he's explaining to you whenever they first meet the Dominion or whenever they come and they attack, you know, the place, the fort. So I wish the story was a little bit better in terms of like letting me know what the hell's going on. And the loading screen sucked. The gameplay, the flying, like Scott said, was great. That's fun. Shooting, decent. Like I said before, the guns are hard to tell apart. Like, you know, I can't really say like one gun's better than the other besides basing on power level. So whoever's a higher power level, I equip more damage, done. And you unlock javelins at level 2, 8, 16, and 24.
Alright, so we talked a lot of crap about this game. Do you guys have like a favorite part of the game so far? Because you guys have played probably more than me.
Probably just opening the game and playing the disc game. It's probably my favorite part.
Well, you don't have like a favorite, you know, scene or anything like that in the game?
No, it's not very memorable.
I mean, so far, like at the very beginning, like I like
Get over
it
here.
was very action-packed when your original team that you fly out with in the prologue, and like they all get destroyed by these big Titan creatures.
So yeah, I thought the game started out well. But
yeah, it was
I feel like
cool
they made
prologue.
it too good at the beginning, and then it just went downhill from there. It's like,
you think it was good in the beginning?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool at the beginning.
I thought that was a cool prologue,
especially once you start flying. But then it's like it doesn't go uphill from there. It doesn't seem like it was
I think
so
that
far
they
from what I've
made a mistake by making so much dialogue, like Brett was saying.
They're
used to these single player RPGs that are big, and like you said, like your choices, they matter. Like the sticks with your companions, like what you say, whether they like you or not.
Right.
Whereas in this game, like a cooperative online type of game, you can't do that thing. And I think they should have trimmed back some of that stuff. Because other games that are shared world like this, like Destinies or Diablos, like you don't have, like the stories, it's just it's the same thing. It's the same story between Destiny and Anthem, really. I mean, people just want shooting, blowing up things, facing alien bad guys, and I think that people would have been satisfied.
Eric, can you do me a favor?
Another big problem I have with the game. Sorry to cut you off.
Damn it! Open your phone with your message with our group message with myself, Scott, you, and Dominic.
Okay. Another big issue I have with the game, though, like I knew ahead of release that I wasn't gonna have this, but the lack of multiplayer I think really hurts this game. Because,
like PvP, like
because a lot of people want to, actually do all these quests and gather up all this gear so they can go on a multiplayer. And I think that hurts it not having multiplayer because it gives these players a lot less to play for, and it kind of destroys the whole point of grabbing all that gear, because it seems like these these battles aren't even that hard. These guys kind of seem like they're just
What
bull sponges.
difficulty did you play on? I've heard that from people. Like for me, I struggle with games, so I mean they're challenging for me. But
Yeah.
like, did you play on the hard
I was
difficulty?
on hard.
Because I heard people say like hard is like you have to play through and beat the game on hard before you can unlock the harder. There's 3 difficulty levels more beyond hard.
Right.
There's Grandmaster 1,
I'm
2,
playing
and 3.
hard. I'm playing hard.
And you have to beat the game on.
I want to get Scott's. Scott made a text, and I want him to kind of clarify his comment, his text message.
Okay, let me.
What
Was that after you sent your pic, right?
It was about talking about Anthem.
Yeah, you sent your picture of Anthem, right?
Yes, it was after that.
Okay, here we go. Scott Mills. I just don't understand why it got reviewed so poorly. It is no worse than Destiny 2. In fact, it's
That's true.
extremely similar. And Destiny 2 got 80s for review scores.
That's right. Like if you look on the OpenCritic or Metacritic, and Destiny 2 is in the 80s. Well, this game, to me, it's the same amount of fun. Like the story is like just as decent, like or dull or whatever you want to say about it. Like
Yeah, I'll give
it's
it.
the same kind of thing.
Just to clarify,
But I like the gameplay in Anthem a little better with the flying and stuff like that. I think I like that better.
but you didn't play Destiny 1, right?
I did not.
So wouldn't Anthem? Oh, I guess if you did play Destiny 1, wouldn't Anthem be a better comparison to Destiny 1, since those are both brand new IPs comparing to Destiny 2?
Well,
which
Destiny
already has a
2 is more
backstory.
recent, like so. I'm just thinking like like in terms of like now, like if Anthem had come out when Destiny 2 did, would it have gotten 80s? And then with Destiny 2, if it had come out now, like after Anthem, would it be in the 60s? Because we've already seen that formula.
I think
and
Anthem. I think,
people are just tired of that formula, and that's why it got reviewed so bad.
well, I think.
Or is it-
Did you ever look at the Destiny 1 reviews?
I did not.
Okay, I didn't either. I think what hurt Anthem 2 is that I kind of agree with you, where I think it might have got reviewed better if it did come out back in 2013, like or 2014 when Destiny 1 came out. But since it came out this year, it was judged against Destiny 2 and all these other, well, I guess Anthem's the only one that's kind of like similar to Destiny.
Division, sort of.
Division, okay, thank you. Division, where it's kind of compared to these games, because those games, you would think Anthem would be, it's being tried against those 2 games, or those 2 franchises, so you would think that those developers would learn from those people's mistakes, and this game's been in development for such a long time. So, made by BioWare's quote-unquote A-team. So, it's just, I think it's disappointing. Again, I bought Anthem, I wanted to be good, I wanted to have fun with friends, but I think having fun with friends doesn't mean it's going to be a good game. I think the key thing is, if you say, well, it's fun with friends, that automatically tells you that it's not a good game. Because a good game is a game you can play solo. I like playing solo. Scott, you like playing solo too?
I mean, for me, yeah, I felt like Destiny 2 is just fun for friends. For me, like
I agree.
I
think Destiny 2 definitely did not take into account what made it. Well, I guess what people that played Rise of Iron and Taken King. I played Taken King. The people that played those expansions said Destiny 1 was in a good place. And then when Destiny 2 came out, it kind of brought it back to how it was in vanilla Destiny, and they hated it. So. I want Anthem to be successful. And I think it has potential. I think it will get better, hopefully, with different patches and different stuff added to it. But right now, I mean, I guess it's hard to disagree with those reviews. It's from what I've played so far, I just don't see it getting any more fun.
Well, yeah, I think it could have been reviewed at like Destiny 2 level 2 if it wasn't so buggy, because Destiny 2 didn't have any bugs when it came out. It was solid, like very crispy. I think that was the big killer I think, for them, because I mean, when you watch these reviews, the only big issues they really bring up are the loading screens and the game crashing.
Yeah, I heard that like people
like that,
had to get something that I heard that was fixed on that day 1 patch. That
Day 6
is that people, if you're in a party and you're having to do the free play stuff, so grind out. Like if one person in your party opens a chest in the free play, like only the first person to open the chest gets credit. So if the other people in the party were opening it, they wouldn't get credit either. And I think they were supposed to fix that.
Okay, so that was previous, and now that
Yeah.
when somebody opens it, everybody
Yeah.
gets credit for it.
Mhm.
That's okay. That's good. I thought it was the other way around. I'm like, that would be awful.
No, yeah.
And then, but yeah, like back to my original point was that this game came out on February 15th. I don't think we have a lot of time left. I just want to clarify. Definitely came out February 15th. Bottle of champagne, big Moscato. Fuck EA, and hopefully the people at BioWare can keep their jobs, and hopefully they can keep on improving the game so that they can keep their jobs, get the company going, bring us Dragon Age 4.
Dragon Age 4.
I want Dragon Age
Super
4,
excited for that.
and I think they're working on Mass Effect eventually too.
Yes,
So.
and hopefully
EA
Mass Effect is better than Andromeda.
EA,
They
stop
can revive
fucking
it.
up. Give us a fucking Star Wars single player game. Like
Hey,
we all want.
Jedi Fallen Order is coming out this year supposedly,
We'll
made by
see.
Respawn.
We'll see.
So, but all right.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully some of these big game companies that are known for their RPGs will go back to their roots and make RPG games like BioWare, Bethesda,
Well, even BioWare, the Andromeda wasn't very good either.
and
so.
Blizzard. Hopefully they do something. I mean, I guess they're coming out with WoW Classic.
This
but,
summer, right?
Yeah, but like I want to see a new
Well,
game
vanilla
that's
one
not
you're talking about?
The servers?
Yes, vanilla.
Yeah,
WoW.
the servers, let's go.
But yeah, even they
Father, you say
don't have.
Father Xavier, human priest, holy priest.
Taylor made.
Yeah. Who was your guy when I was Father Xavier?
I don't remember who it was. It might have been Connolly, even or
Okay.
Rigoris or something. I don't know.
Might have been Rigoris.
Yeah, so we want to see better out of those companies, for sure. With that, we're going to wrap it up for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Certainly, Anthem has created a lot of buzz, even though it's reviewed poorly. I think people were definitely interested in it. And
Next,
it's
we're
been disappointing.
we're close to a month away from going to PAX East.
Yes.
I wanted to also say that Dreams
yeah.
will be at PAX East.
Oh, that'll
So,
be very cool. I wanna,
We got to figure
we
out,
gotta
Scott,
check
you
it
need to figure out hotels. Eric's afraid
Yes.
to drive again. So now we got to figure out transportation.
I'm not afraid
everything.
to drive. I'm just afraid my car
Okay.
breaking down.
Oh, because, yeah.
So now we're still
Well-
working on PAX East stuff.
Yeah,
We'll update you guys next week.
We'll make it there somehow.
we will make it there.
I'll fly like an eagle.
Yes. As always,
See,
subscribe to the Take Aim Games channel, like our videos, it helps us out, and we will catch you guys next week.
See you later.